It's an honor for me to be here at this point with my Senate colleagues, the ranking member of our Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, Susan Collins of Maine, Senator Dan Akako, who's of Hawaii, is the chair of the relevant subcommittee, and his new ranking member, and our new colleague, Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. And of course with us is Gene Dodaro, the Comptroller General, who's the star of the day, and who we're very proud has been selected to be the Comptroller General. You know, I was thinking coming over today that America loves lists, and at this time of the year, for instance, the list of the nominees for the Academy Award, or the list of the top college basketball teams as we head toward March Madness. This is a list, if you're in the federal government, that you don't love to be on. Because it means that you're involved in the mismanagement of a program, that you're wasting taxpayer money or failing to collect taxpayer money, or at worst that you may be involved in some kind of abuse or fraud. But it is a critically important list, and critically important to our Senate committee with its oversight responsibility, and to the House Oversight and Governmental Reform Committee, whose members will be with us soon. And it's extra critically important in this session as we are facing this enormous challenge of dealing with our fiscal imbalances, with the annual deficits of over $1 trillion and the accumulated national debt of over 14 trillion, or about 14 trillion now. These are humongous, historic imbalances, national debts that we've got to act urgently and boldly to bring our government back into balance and to protect our future generations of Americans from paying for our wastefulness. In that sense, this high-risk list, which GAO has put out every year since 1990, takes on special urgency and meaning and relevance. And Gene Dodaro is going to talk about the contents of the high-risk list that nobody in the federal government wants to be on. I want to just highlight two parts of it that I think are relevant to our difficult work in trying to reduce the federal deficit. The first is the recommendations regarding and the comments regarding Medicare and Medicaid, where improper payments in Medicare in 2010 were $48 billion, and in Medicaid, $22.5 billion in improper payments in 2010. So there you've got more than $70 billion. Think about all the controversies surrounding the various proposals for reducing our annual budgets. Less than that. And there's $70 billion where better management would save the taxpayers that money. The other significant one, and Gene will talk about it in detail, is the new addition to the high-risk list, which is the inability or the failure of the Department of Interior to manage the collection of revenues for oil and gas leases and royalties. And a part of this is that we are amazingly and annoyingly relying on the oil and gas industry for the basic data on which we are judging whether they are paying us what they owe us for the extraordinarily valuable energy resources that they're extracting from land which belongs to the people of the United States. And I think Gene is pointing to this problem, suggesting to our committees the way in which we can perform more aggressive oversight to make sure that we're being paid everything the taxpayers deserve for the oil and gas that private companies are taking out of American land. I'm going to leave it to that for my statement.